things that make you great. You want to be great and you do average things and you stay average. To be great, to be exceptional, and to be exceptional in particular, exceptional, you need to be the exception, right? Just like in the word, you can't have exceptional without exception. You can't have the AL on the end without exception, right? So you can't be exceptional without being an exception. And that means you can't be great without being different, doing things different, working different, separating yourself from the crowd. Like, success requires you, if you want to have different, you have to be different, and you have to do different. You have to be the exception, you know, the odd one out. When everybody goes left, you have to go right, because you know where you're trying to go, right? You can't take the same path as everybody, because average people are going to go on the average path, and if you want to be great and exceptional, you have to take another path, right? So to be exceptional, you have to be the exception. There's no if buts in between. You're gonna have to go goals. And when I say goals, I don't mean the way it is now, where it's like cool to go goals. I mean like you really have to just separate yourself from the distraction, the social medias. You know, deactivate Instagram for a little bit. Stay off of, you know, posting. You don't need to post, but just put in straight work, you know, straight hustle. That's what it means to be exceptional, you know, doing things differently, because there's so many distractions in the world, and it's time. If you want to be exceptional, you're gonna have to cut those distractions out. The parties, you know, the girls, everything. The most exceptional, and you know, it's not an easy thing to do if you are already somebody who used to go to parties, smoke, drink, fuck this, fuck that, post on social media. It's not an easy thing to do, right? Because that's your lifestyle. No, that's you being average, right? But you have to be okay with missing out and letting people miss out on you. And you have to miss out on the fun for a little bit, you know. Stay down a couple months to go up years, you know. Work for a couple months. Keep your head down for a couple months, so that when it starts to click and you finally see the harvest from your work, it's longevity there to stay. Not no, you've been working for months, you only get months of results. If you work for months, you're gonna get years of results. If you work for years of results, you're gonna get decades of results, right? It's always multiplied by the work you put in. If you look at the greatest, I don't want to say sports people, but the most successful people athletically, right? I watch football, so I'm just gonna say Cristiano Ronaldo. To be exceptional, look at him. He's 40 years old, still playing. He's an exception. He don't eat certain foods. He don't stay up late doing certain things. No, he don't go to this place, he don't go to that place. Like, he's fully focused on his work and his craft. And that's what it takes, you know. That's what it takes to maintain it. It's easy to be successful, but to stay there, everybody can't do it. That's why it's only a few. Kobe Bryant, he was in the gym 3 times a day. Niggas don't even go to the gym 1 time a day. You know what I mean? So he's an exception, because he's doing things differently to get the results that he wants, right? And that's what it takes to be exceptional, to be great. You know, good is good enough, right? But great, not many people get to see great, you know. But good, everybody settles for good. But those who are relentless, the cleaners, they don't settle. They don't settle for good. They go for great. They go for exceptional. But with that, you have to separate, stand out. You know, you have to do the work others aren't willing to do. The success and the dreams that you want, they're gonna require a different version of you than the one that asks for it, you know. So if I ask for to be a millionaire, if I want to be a millionaire today, and I'm still average, me being average can't take me to be a millionaire. I have to change something. I have to change my identity. I start moving like a millionaire, start working like a millionaire, you know. So the version of you today isn't going to be the version of you that's going to get the success. You have to transform, you know, raise your standards. Success is like You know, what I really think about is success is like an auction where it goes to the highest bidder, whoever pays the highest price. You know, long nights, early morning, late nights, days of work, consistency, discipline, missing out, cutting out distractions. Those are the prices you have to pay for success. Isolation, losing people, hitting rock bottom, losing yourself, lack of self-confidence, all those things, no motivation, doubt, everything. That's the price of success. And if it was easy, everybody would be able to pay, right? But those are the prices to pay, and it goes to the highest bidder. But I say all that to say, you have to be exceptional to get where you're trying to go. You have where you are and where you're trying to go. You're not gonna get to where you're trying to go by being average. You get to where you're trying to go by being exceptional, by being great, you know? And it's like, only you can make that decision to put in the work, to be exceptional, like day in, day out. No days off, even weekends matter, you know? You can put in the work 5 days a week, but when it comes to the weekend, you're partying, you're doing this, it's not gonna work. Because like, you're having days off and you haven't even made it. When you have a day off and you haven't even made it, it's somebody putting in the work 24/7, 25/8 to get where they're trying to go, to get the results that they want, to get the success that they want. And you have to do the same. That's exceptional, that's greatness, that's relentless. And they're the exception. You know, they're different. Everybody can't do that. Everybody won't do that. It's up to you. How bad do you want it? That's what it comes down to, really. How bad do you want the success? You want to be a millionaire, you want this, you want that, you want clothes, you want this, you want all the materialistic shit, you want this lifestyle, whatever. But how bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? How often are you willing to work to get there, to close the gap from where you are and where you want to go? How are you going to close that gap? By being exceptional. So to be exceptional, you have to be the exception. To have different, you have to be different, and you have to do different. And that's up to you. So it's your choice. You can either be exceptional, you can stay average, and that's your choice. So make the change. It's either day one or it's one day.